Together we are but first coffee. Susie's just our host, but what matters most is we are a team. Together we are all safe here, and so are you. Among friends and mods we are safe. We talk about trauma, break down drama of life, death, happy or sad, even mad. We discuss it all here. Together we will thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Together we fight cults or fight addictions. If not with experience, with love, and we don't judge. Please understand this is a safe place to land. Please understand you're not alone. This is a safe place to land. Together we thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Because we are but first coffee, and Susie welcomes us all here. Together we are but first coffee, and Susie.
Hi, everybody. Good to be back. How's everyone doing? I've got Jan in the back office so she can be starring some comments or questions. So please, if you have those, you might mark them so it's easier to see either a Q or a C, something like that. But it might not be that big of a chat tonight. You just never know, right? If it looked like it was going to be drama, it would be big. So I did kind of laugh because I thought, well, the title of today's live was just a little bit random, so I guess it could look, you know, dramatic, but it's not. It's another easy peasy one, y'all. I'm not sure what's happening. Sorry about that. We do have some weird weather, so it's actually been really pretty today, but I never know. You just never know. So yeah, it's buffering a little bit. It'll probably straighten itself out. I always love it when I look back and it's like over on the replay, I'll look at part of it and it's buffering because I always have it never buffers whenever, when you're just like sitting there with a halfway decent look on your face. It always buffers. Thanks, B. When it's some kind of, like kind of look on your face. So yeah, those are always fun. But I see everybody's do that too. So, oh well. The hazard of live, I guess. So how's everybody doing? I see several people coming in. I'm really glad to see you. So I think I'll go ahead and check in with the chat just a little bit. Jersey's waving to everybody. So then we'll just get started. This is going to be just fun. I do want to say though, as you come in, um, I do have a live planned for Thursday night. Now it's going to be at 7 instead of 6:30 Central. It's going to be, I'm writing down stuff so I don't forget, at 7 p.m. Central. Okay. And Thursday is going to be kind of a multiple choice, kind of guess the doomsday cult. Like we're going to tell like a doomsday theory, and then you'll have like three choices or four choices or whatever. And you choose which one you think it is. So I hope everybody will show up for that. But I am really needing a couple more people that will come on screen with us and play along. So if anybody wants to do that, please let me know here. Message me on Facebook or my email address does scroll across the bottom of the screen. So just get in touch with me today or tomorrow for sure so that I can get that all set up because I'll have to have some way to send you the link so you can get on. So, and then on Saturday, again, 7 p.m. Central, we're going to do kind of a walk down memory lane thing. It's a do you remember when kind of thing. Okay. And I do have a couple people signed up for that one. But if you're interested in being on stage for that one, again, please let me know. Just let me know what night you wanna do it, and, I have to have some way to send you the link. So, anyway, I think that's all the yeah, that's pretty much I don't know, I'm probably forgetting something, but that's what I've got coming up that I need help on, y'all. So, I do have my little paper here, so um if you wanna be on it, you can even tell me in the chat, but I am gonna need you to email me or something so that I have a email address or a messenger account something that I can, that oh goodness, sorry, that I can send you the link. So, anyway, I appreciate that very much. Now, let's see here. Let's check in with the chat for a second, and then we will get started. I saw that Marilee is here. Thank you so much, Marilee. Again, thank you, Jan, for being in the back office. It makes it really nice when I've got somebody back there that kind of um, checks on things for me. So I really appreciate that. And Carnosol, it is good to see you too. Yes, I get this a lot. Sure, try to pick the landscape format, but YouTube wants to push the vertical. I know, it really does. And so I don't know. I kind of like the idea of streaming to both, both ways. It is bringing in some new viewers, but at the same time, it is kind of a pain in the butt. It just really is, but I don't know. Maybe at some point. So, Eileen Bradley, good to see you. You should play on one of the games, Eileen. You should get a hold of me and and do one of either one, either the culty doomsdays or the do you remember when? I mean, the do you remember when we're just gonna talk. We're just gonna say, "Hey, do you remember when, you know, blah blah blah, whatever it is." And then I'm just hoping for conversation. So that one's just gonna be like that. The other one, the Doomsday Cult one, will kind of be like a game. It's set up that way anyway. So, but it's fun too, and it's multiple choice. So it's not like you have to think and dream up some, which that might actually be more fun if you just dreamed up a cult, right? We should do that. Make our own cult, right? And dream up how it's all gonna be. So B is here. Good to see you. Always good to see you. Thanks so much for being a mod. I really appreciate that. Keep my shorts is here. Thank you too. I really appreciate you. Never and Aaron is here. Good to see you. Always good to see you. Yeah. Live to laugh. There seemed like there was something that I was gonna I don't know what it was. It seemed like you asked something or said something. Anyway, I don't know. I'll think of it. But I was thinking about you today and I can't remember now why. But anyway, it is good to see you. Very good to see you. Thanks for being a member. Lori Driscoll, good to see you. Lurking and snacking, maybe going to bed early for a change. I tell myself that about every night and I'll actually go to bed early and then I can't go to sleep. I just lay there and I'm awake, so I end up back on my iPad watching something. Yeah, I'm really hooked on these. They've got them both in, like, England, like London, and also in Australia where it's these, um oh, it just went out of my head, like an air ambulance, okay? So it's like the helicopters, and they go off to different things to rescue people or to haul them to the hospital and stuff, and I am so fascinated with it. Like, I seriously watch them constantly. Mark even comes in there, and if I haven't got my ear earbuds in yet, he'll be like, "Oh." you're watching the or the helicopters again. So I do, they're really cool. You know, it's so different there than it is here. Like here, or at least where I'm at in Oklahoma, y'all, I'm not gonna speak for the entire country, but where I'm at, there are EMTs or paramedics that are on the helicopters. They call them life flight usually, or some kind of, variation of that. But anyway, in England and in Australia, there will be doctors, sometimes a doctor that's also like an anesthesiologist. And I mean, they are just able to do even more, you know, in flight or even before flight than they can do here. And it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I'm just like, wow, wow. I don't know. I always say when I get some power, right? I'm gonna try to get some changes made. But yeah, speaking of power, they're after me again, y'all. I've got people emailing me again, want me to run for office, local office. I'm not going to, but yeah, if I make mention of some like silly something sometime, or you'll know what I'm talking about, because yeah, every few this is about the third time I think that they have really started bugging me. I got over the weekend, I got several um, emails from the Democratic, conventions here in Oklahoma wanting me to run for this or that, and I'm like, "How do they even know me?" I don't know where they I mean, when I had the newspaper, I kinda got it, but, like, now? I don't know. Anyway, so Mysterious Mayo, good to see you. Yeah. Eileen says, "I had to convince one of the pups that my shoe is not food. What did I miss?" That's funny because right before I had already clicked go live. The music was playing, and it's go time, right? And my English bulldog, Poppy, was like decided to chew on my arm. I don't know why, but I was like, "Go lay down, go lay down." And she was just, aw, she's just, chewing on my arm. No idea why. And then she started, like, chewing on my hand right here, and I was just like, "I don't know." Yeah, they might lurk on YouTube, I don't know. Aw, Steve says he'd vote for Susie if only, right? You know what? Where did I see that? I was watching one of my some kind of a show, but I didn't think it was a Canadian thing, but it might have been because I watch everything is Canadian or British or Australian. But I saw something, and they had named whatever it was. I don't know if it was one of the helicopters that I was watching, but anyway, they had named it after the town that Steve lives in. So, I thought that was weird because I had never heard of that town until Steve came in to my life, and then, yeah, now I saw this. I think it was like a helicopter or something that was named after it. It was odd. So, yeah, yeah, it was. It I was just like I kept looking at it, and I kept thinking, "Where do I know that name from?" And then I was like, "Oh my god, I know where it is." So, yeah, really. Yeah. Eileen says they have so many toys, but for some reason, it's my socks or my shoes for them. Mine too. I have talked about this before with Poppy. She, she's fascinated with my shoes, and she will either like, if I take them off somewhere besides where they belong, I kinda get it, but she'll even go into my closet and get them off of my shoe rack, but only one of each pair. And so, no matter what I'm doing, I can only find one shoe because she's got them somewhere. And even Mark asked me last night, he goes, "Why are your shoes all piled up over here under Otis's tree?" Because he's got one of those cat trees. And there's like 4 or 5 individual shoes piled up underneath the cat tree, and I guarantee you it's Poppy. She's laying there. She's listening. She's pretending to be asleep, but her ears, because they're usually like "Vroom," over, they're like sticking straight up, so she's listening to me. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Steve. 'Cause I thought first when I saw it, I thought because, you made jokes about, Fruit Loops, and so, yeah, that's what I thought about it for. Aw, that's so sweet. Jan had a min pin that used to take one of her shoes and hug it all day until she came home. Oh my gosh, that's precious. That is cute. I don't know. Maybe that's what Poppy's doing, but she goes and gets one and maybe she gets, I don't know, gets over hugging that one and goes and gets another one and go gets I mean, I would have to put them up high enough that she can't reach them. 'Cause if she can if yeah, Fruit Loops. Ah, yeah, y'all, we laugh about the silliest things on our mod chat. It I remembered him, like, saying something about Fruit Loops, about the town he lived in, so anyway. Yeah, maybe it is, Eileen, because the shoes smell like me. It very well might be. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get started and let Jan do her job back there because she probably thinks, Why am I back here to mark question or, comments if you're just gonna go down and read them all?" Oops, sorry. Bodie McBoatface, it was chosen through I think I have heard of that. A UK research vessel that was named Bodie McBoatface. I think I have heard of that. I don't or something like it. There is as soon as I saw it, I was like, "I know that," but I can't remember where I would know it from, but again, I am always, y'all, watching these weird things. Yeah, I was laughing about things that go for a vote. The, there's a bridge in Savannah, Georgia, and I can't think of the guy's name right now, which is, bad because I'm actually related to him. But he was the former governor of the state, and he, like, screwed the state over. He did some really illegal stuff, and they had before that, they had named this beautiful bridge after him. So whenever he became, like, this crook, they had, like, votes and all this stuff. It was a big, big deal. Spent a bunch of money to try to rename this bridge, and in the end, they named it the same name as it was already named, and I will probably randomly in the middle of the show yell out his name. And here I thought Dude Chilling Park was funny. That's funny too. That is. That is funny too. But, yeah, so it's funny how things get named and all that, right? So, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So, I just wanted to say welcome to all my fellow weirdos. This is gonna be one of those just for us kind of lives, right? And seriously, I'm not here to judge because I literally am a people watcher, and so I've noticed a few, actually probably more than a few of you doing some weird stuff, right? Especially when you think nobody's watching. And yeah, we're watching and we're doing those same weird things right along beside you. So, yeah, that's why I say welcome. Because I'm just as weird as the rest of you. But I do want to see, I want you like to say in the chat if you do any of these things or if you have other little quirky things that you do. I want to hear about it. We're just going to talk about you know, weird stuff. Am I the only one that does this? That kind of thing. So, because I promise you, you're probably not the only one that does weird stuff. So I started off with this one and I started thinking and I was trying to find 10 weird things that I think people do. And especially if I think that I do them. And I settled on 7, but there's kind of variations of them. So anyway, Marilee says, I'm a weirdo and proud of it. Me too. Me too. Absolutely. But let's start with an easy one. Okay. How many of you are car concert tour people? Like, who in here turns their car into a straight up concert venue. Like you play in the radio or you're, a CD or whatever. However you are connecting to music, cuz I am not up on all of it. I know there's a lot of ways. I'm still hey, I do have like Sirius radio now and I don't even think my new car has a CD player. I don't think it does. But anyway, so how many of you, when you're just driving along and minding your own business, Jersey's in the back office. You can't see her, but she's behind the the curtain working on it on the channel. So, do any of you do that? Do you turn, like you're driving down the road? Are you just like singing and or the passenger, if you're the passenger, are you singing along to the radio? Do you have are you imagining that you have backup vocals? Do you have an imaginary person that you're doing a duet with? All of that. Are you hitting the high notes, maybe the low notes? I want to know cuz I think a lot of people are singing their little hearts out until we roll up on a stop sign or a light or somebody comes up beside us in traffic and then it's like, we just kinda looking around and stop. Or are you one of those that keeps singing? Just, flying your freak flag, right? Just keeping it on. Yeah. I do that all the time, guys. The thing is, like, I have a lot of friends and family that are actually, like, professional singers. I mean, they're not Adele level or anything, but they do make a living singing. And so, especially, well, I think they're can't remember can't remember any of them being female. We got a lot of males in our family and my friend group that sing. Being in a bar band cured you of that. Yeah. But, yeah, so I'm all the time, like, I'll imagine that I'm singing with one of those, and I actually have sang with a couple of them, and so it sometimes it'll bring back memories, and I'll be like, "I sang that song." I'll tell Mark, "I sang that song," or "I did this or that," or whatever. Yeah, I'm guilty. So, Ben says okay, I'm missing something, hold on. I wanna keep track of some of these too, so John made it home good. Heat my shorts is head banging while driving, sometimes. I'm always singing, always, but, usually only I say that, but usually only if I'm alone or with Mark. I used to sing a lot whenever I was with the girls or my ex-husband or something, but, I don't sing hardly well, I'm always busy talking if I'm with them, but with Mark, I'm always just singing because he's not much of a talker, and so I'm just sitting there singing. And another thing, extra points, y'all, if you dance while you're at it. So we know Heat is over there head banging, and then the rest of y'all head banging or just, doing a little dance. So I'm just wondering. Oh, a snowy ride home. Sorry, John. That's awful. Yeah. Yep. The driver always gets to choose the music, except for me and Mark, and I will let him choose, but after a while, I'm like, okay, I can't do this forever, cause he is fine. He'll just put on like if he knows he's very sweet. I know that it's very sweet. So, but it's also infuriating. Okay, so I like John Mayer. I'm not like a John Mayer super fan, but I like him, And so on XM radio, he has like a channel. So Mark will put it on that channel and it'll just play one after another of his. It'll also play people that he likes, music that he likes or that sounds a lot like his, but mostly it's playing him. After about that's why I don't this is why I don't go to concerts. No matter how much I like the singer, after about the 3rd song, I am over it. I'm over it. I don't have I don't have the attention span for it. I can't do it. It starts making me a nervous wreck, and I'm just like, start this, oh, I'm just all over the place. And my arms, I'll cross them and I'm just sitting there rocking back and forth in the in the seat. So, yeah. Mysterious Mayo does it all the time, but only when they're alone. Yep, keep singing, absolutely. I didn't know that Ben was in a bar band, but yeah, I was too. It will cure you of it, I know, but it didn't mean what I sing now all the time though? I don't know why, but I love singing like classic Patsy Cline kind of country songs, and I'm not even a country person. I don't really care for country music. But yeah, I will flat out sing some Patsy Cline. And my grandma, she taught me to yodel, and so I'm not great at it, but I can still do it, and no, I'm not going to show you. But yeah, so I will sometimes I'll find a song that's got a little yodel in it, and so I'll do that, but yeah. Yeah. It don't matter, right? It don't matter. That's the whole point, is that in our cars or at our homes or whatever, when we're alone, it doesn't matter how good we are or how bad we are. We could put on a concert, and that's the fun part. So, Jersey is a car singer, and I imagine that I can actually sing well and sometimes sing with famous people in my demented imagination. That is me. I will be, like, imagining in my head, right, that this this famous singer, like, starts the song, and then I walk out onto the stage and join them. So, I mean, I have this whole ridiculous made up thing going in my head. So it's not just that I'm singing, I am crazy, but I don't care. And do I have a hidden camera in your car, John? Not yet. Don't think I won't. Don't think I won't. Sometimes I think Mark does because sometimes Mark will this doesn't have anything to do with that, but I can be out somewhere with Megan or something, and, like, he'll call me and he'll be like, "Did you just eat at Chili's?" "Yeah." "Did you just go to, Old Navy?" "Yeah." And I'm, like, looking around, right? But all he does is a little shit. He will pull up my credit card and see where I'm charging stuff at. Not to, like, he just likes to, like, spy on me in a non-creepy kinda way. I think he likes to call me and be like, "Did you just spend, X amount of dollars at this place?" And I'm like, I mean, he'll know to the penny, right? And I'm just thinking, I kinda have figured him out more now, though. Merrily says, "Back when I would go for drives with our daughters, we had special driving." Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Me and my daughters were always singing songs, and I don't know, we I was always, like, the cool mom. I was the mom that was listening to what they were listening to. First of all, I just liked it, but second of all, I wanted to know what they were listening to and what movies they were watching and what books they were reading and all that, just, on a nosy mom kinda level too. And so, I would always know all the songs that they did, and we would be singing them, and it would be fun. And I had this, like a Bronco, one of the small Broncos, and a friend of mine owned a whole, like, strip mall, and it had, like, different stores in it, and he had a convenience store at one end. And yes, he was from Pakistan, is from Pakistan. But anyway, we would go down through there and we'd roll the windows down and we'd like have, where that bass would really be bumping, and we'd be rolling through his parking lot, singing as loud as we could and dancing. And Acting crazy. Yeah, I used to be a lot more fun than I am now. But they still remind me of those days. Tapes, yeah, you had your own tapes. Linda Scott is here, good to see you, says, "Hi, everyone. I love singing when I drive, and I don't care who's in the car." My mom never did either. She would sing no matter what. My mom had a beautiful voice, though, and she would just and I mean, a lot of my mom's family, like, sang on the Grand Ole Opry and stuff, so she came from that side of my family came from a long line of entertainers and singers and you know, all these musical instruments and stuff. I used to love when we would go to Kentucky and we would literally pull chairs around, like kitchen chairs, whatever, and sit in like a big circle and the different uncles and cousins and everything would be playing music and we'd be singing. And I mean, I had one uncle that he could play anything, but I remember him playing the dobro, and I always thought that that was just amazing because it's not something that you see all the time. So, yeah, I remember mixtapes. Yeah, those were good. I had mixtape that I would sing, like if I drove when I would leave my home and drive to where our newspaper was at, I would have a good 30 minutes or so, and I would just put on a concert, y'all. Yeah, absolutely. Taylor Swift songs, Britney Spears songs, you name it. I also had a dog that would sing in the car, but only to songs she was a girl, and she would only sing songs that were sang by women. When a man would come on the radio and be singing, she would just turn her head like she was mad. Turn her head literally, she would face the seat like she was mad. So, yeah. And she did that when I got her, so that wasn't anything I taught her. Eileen says, "I spent an entire drive from the Netherlands to France singing Disney songs." Aw, with my friend loudly. Cool. I love Disney songs. I love them. I really do. I love all those Disney movies. Right now, I'm trying to sell a bunch of the movies, the VHS tapes that my daughters grew up watching, and it's breaking my heart. It really is. Yeah, John Mayer. Ouch. I like John Mayer too, but I get the Bee Gees are great. I think he's just saying that because of Ben. Linda really belts out the show tunes. Hey, Cindy, good to see you. Hey, Susie, always have music on in the car, in the house, wherever. The dog looks at me kind of funny. I try to dance with her. See, we're all doing it. We are all doing it, right? Whoops. Let me see. I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to just make sure I don't miss anybody. I like individual songs, but never a band's entire repertoire. Me too. So I have to make a playlist beforehand. Yeah, me too. Now, I will say I am absolutely obsessed with this band, and a lot of people don't know them, but it's called X Ambassadors, and I can listen to one CD after another of theirs. I love them. Yeah. Nine Inch Nails. I just saw that down there. We know Mare likes them. Yodeling stream. No, not happening. Not ever. I she taught me to do that singing that it's an old song called I Want to Be a Cowboy's Sweetheart. So, yeah. Okay. And Soul says I only get to play my music on my own, otherwise my wife plays the music. Yeah. John says my mom, bless her heart, couldn't carry a tune if it had a handle, but we never stopped her. Oh, that's so sweet though. My mom was great. She really could sing. She did everything well. She was a ballroom dance instructor. She I mean, she just was great at everything. Not so much her daughter, not so much. Okay, now here's another one, and I'm just gonna say it. My nose is itching, y'all. That wasn't what I was gonna say, but anyway, I do this one. I'm just gonna admit to it. Does anybody practice arguments when you're alone? Hi, Vernon. Good to see you. So, raise your hand if you have won an argument, right? When someone is not even there with you. I have played in my head so many arguments that I'm gonna have, that I'm gonna prove my point. When Mark gets home, and I will even imagine what he's gonna say when, like, if I say something, he's gonna say this. And I'm pretty fair. I will give him pretty good points. So, yeah, I, I do it all the time, y'all. I do it all the time. I mean, full conversations, not like, little no. Full conversations, full clap back on both sides. Of course, I have a few mic drop moments, of course. You know? So are any of you all undefeated in your very own um living room or wherever that you're having these conversations? Because I do. I do my best debates while putting on makeup. Mhm. I was having one today, which explains why I got a little heavy-handed with the eyeshadow because I was just really busy. Wasn't paying a whole lot of attention, but oh well. So I'm wondering, does anybody else do that? So I saw where he said, okay, Vernon says, I just purchased a book by an ex Jehovah Witness who is now retired psychotherapist. Cool. I hope the book will be helpful. I bet it will be. If it is, you'll have to let me know. So Marilee says, "Nope, I have arguments in my sleep and I always win." Yeah, she smacks the crap out of people in her sleep. Who was it the other night you were beating up? Oh my word. She's a little violent thing. Uh, Heat says, "Yeah, I imagine arguments that could happen. Some of my best arguments with myself in the shower." Yep, absolutely. Yeah, a debate while applying makeup. Yikes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. It was Elon. Yeah, I can't remember, there was somebody not long ago that, somebody that's famous, and I actually was in like a full-on battle. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get it, Vernon, the book might be cheaper than going to a psychologist. Might. Or it might really give you it might would shorten the time if you needed to go to one because yeah, because you could, like, seriously, like, maybe, really figure out the things that you wanna talk about instead of just kinda, like, starting at ground zero and talking about everything. Maybe that it would help you to, come up with things that you want to talk about. Yeah. Yep, she did, she belted old Elon right in the nose. I love it. She comes on and tells us this stuff in our mod chat, and I'm sitting there just laughing. Half the time I don't even answer because by the time I quit laughing, I'm just like, "My head hurts now from laughing so much at her." Oh my goodness. I used to tell Mark, I would, like, get mad at somebody, and I'd be like, "I'm gonna pop them in the snoot." He was like, "In the snoot?" I'm like, "Mhm, in the snoot," which is the nose. So, anyway. Okay, number 3, y'all. Number 3 are those shower TED Talks. So, anyone else turn into a motivational speaker every time they get into the shower? Like, I don't talk out loud, but in my head, I am giving some damn good advice, like life advice. I'm not in there just washing my hair, y'all. I'm in there solving the problems of life, world peace, everything, right? I I rehearse lives. I explain like trauma, like if somebody has asked me, about my breast cancer journey or something, then I will, go over that and, like especially, like, if I know that I'm going to a new doctor that I'm gonna have to explain everything to, like, "Can you not read my 6-inch thick chart?" But, that kinda thing. But, yeah, I'm constantly but I'm really, really, like, just playing over lives or, some sort of a situation, like, if there's an issue going on, I am solving it. I am solving it in the shower, y'all. Sometimes those showers are short, but sometimes I use all the hot water because not everybody is, as easy to talk to and fix when they don't exist. Mm. And how about this one? So, do any of you all, when you're in there, uh, when you're in the shower or wherever you do this and you're like doing your little TED talk, when you get out, do you forget everything that you said? Like I do that all the time. Like I will think, oh, this would make a great live. And I'll have like points that I want to make, or even if I'm already doing a live, I'll think of these different points that I want to make. And I'm like, yeah, that one's good. That's good. And then I get out and I can't remember anything that I thought was so brilliant. I can't remember any of it. Yeah. That's another thing is, do you forgive people that don't even know that they're mad at you? Or do you like, you're going there and you're kind of in a huff, a little bit mad at somebody's, hurt your feelings or whatever. And so, you think it through in your head and everything, and you kinda talk it through, and so you're by the time you get out of the shower, you've forgiven them, right? So everything's cool till you actually get out of the shower and you figure out you're still mad. I do that too. So, yes, heat, absolutely. Yep, forget after the shower, heat needs a whiteboard in there too. Yeah. Vernon says, "Question: are there Christians with cancer who hope that their cancer will be cured with prayer and not with treatment?" I'm sure there are. And while I do believe that prayer can be powerful in a way, I have never. I, I don't think that it's that I don't think that God could cure me of cancer if that was what He decided to do, but I think that he gives the doctors and the scientists the knowledge to help cure me because, God had said, that he wasn't going to intervene like that he had done before. He had really, you know, back in biblical days, he had intervened and he had cured people and he had caused the flood and all these things, right? And so after that, he said, "I'm not doing that anymore," and that's when he granted us free will. I'm just not trying to preach to anybody, I'm just saying that that's where my beliefs stem from. And so, I don't really expect him to heal my cancer. I hope that he will give my doctors and behind them, the scientists and everything, the all the information and knowledge and abilities that they need, and me the strength to get through the treatments that they have so that I can not heal myself, but, that I can get healed. So, but yeah, there are absolutely Christians out there that believe in prayer and not treatment. Yeah, B says, "My greatest thoughts are when I'm about to fall asleep and then I forget it all." Me too. And I purposely did this for a while whenever I had the newspaper. I would keep a notepad and pen next to my bed, and so that if I woke up from having, some kind of really great idea, I would write it down because I knew I wasn't gonna remember it by the time I woke up, and so it really used to help me, and I haven't done that in a long time. I need to start doing that because yeah, or whenever I'm like Steve, I need a whiteboard in the shower so that when I'm having these great thoughts about things that I could say on a live or just topics for lives, that I could write it down right then. I don't know. I need to, or maybe like some sort of a waterproof microphone type thing, or not microphone, recording thing so that I could, record my thoughts. I don't know, but anyway, maybe they aren't so great and I have just deluded myself into thinking that they're great. Like I'm in the shower solving life, right? Solving all the world problems and I get out and it's like, okay, so, you know, pizza on Fridays is probably not gonna, bring on world peace, but it won't hurt, right? It don't hurt nothing. So anyway, okay. Yeah, I hope I have a notepad by my bed and I write down what I remember from my dreams as soon as I wake up. That's great. That's a great idea. I used to do that too, but I've really been bad about not doing it. So anyway, number 4. Okay. So do you talk to yourself in stores? So, it could be something simple, like whenever you're like running into the grocery store real quick and you're like hurrying, trying to get out. Are you ever being like, don't forget the milk, don't forget the milk, don't forget the milk, don't forget the milk? Even if it's in your head, but either way, out loud or, in your head. Does anybody else do that? Because I do it all the time. And a lot of things that I'll find myself doing is like I'll be in like a clothing store or something and I'll be like pissed, right? And I'll be going, everybody must wear the same size that I do. Everybody must wear a size, blank, because all the sizes smaller than me and all the sizes bigger than me have got plenty of things that are cute, but my size is always gone. And I'll be doing this sometimes out loud, sometimes in my head. So, yeah, I am always talking to myself, always. And if somebody notices, I'll be like, You know, like that I'm, talking to my phone. I always have my phone laying on my purse so that I can just be like, "Yeah." So, does anybody else do that or am I just crazy? Yeah. Jersey says, "I talk to myself all day long, no matter where I am, at work, at the store, at the gym." Absolutely. Me too. Marilee says, "All the time." I'm glad. Yeah, he says, "I have no other humans living with me, so I talk to myself a lot, or that puppy." I talk to the dog so much that sometimes I forget when Mark comes home, like, I forget to tell him, like, the things that went on during the day because I've already talked about it to the dogs or my cat. Live to laugh says, "Yes, I talk to myself often. You are not alone." He says, "That's how I get the best answers." Of course. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. Do you secretly judge yourself? Has anybody ever done that? Like I will walk, I'm walking through the store. I always get a basket, even if I'm, just not really planning to buy anything or I'm just getting one thing. I always get a basket so I can put my purse in it, put my phone on it, and I can, like push it around, have something to kind of hang on to. Because I get very um I get weird in crowds, and for some reason, having that basket is like a grounding thing for me. It's like that I'm on my own little thing, like it's me in that basket, I guess. So, anyway, Mark's like, "I'll push it." I'm like, "I'm pushing the basket." But yeah, I'll be pushing the basket and I'll be walking around and I'll see my reflection in, like, the refrigerator doors, back in, like, the milk department or something. I'll see myself in the reflection or on a mirror in the clothing department or whatever, and, I mean, I'm just like, "Oh my god," and I'm pulling my shirt down to cover my butt, and how did that hair get sticking straight up like alfalfa, and all the time, all the time. John says he has entire conversations with myself and the TV. I talk to the TV too, I do. Mysterious Mayo says, "Me too. I talk to my kitten all the time. He don't know it yet, but he is my therapist and the best kind. He doesn't talk back and he doesn't charge you." As much as I love therapy, I not like the cost. Eileen says, "I talk to myself all the time, but I pretend I'm talking to my pets at home." Oh, I don't pretend. I talk to them. I have conversations. And Mark and I, we narrate the animals' thoughts. Like, I'll be like, "Well, Mag said blah, blah, blah," and he'll be, "Well, that's funny. She told me na 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 na," whatever. We're always doing. Yeah. I think if somebody just, like, like, had a nanny cam in our house and just saw some of the crazy stuff that we do or say or whatever, they would probably commit us to something because I don't know. It's crazy. Aw. Eileen says, "I have been known to tell little baby shoes how cute they are in the shop out loud in a ba" I absolutely. I get it because, like, I was trying to think, but yeah, like baby stuff or some kinda little doll or something. Okay, I've got this tissue box. Let's pretend, y'all, that it is something I'll pick up and go, "Oh, oh, but Mark, look," this and he's doing this. But I'm like, "But please, Mark." He's just like, "No." And the thing is, if Mark's not there, I'm still doing that, but I'm hearing him in my head being like, "No." Ugh, that is so funny. I didn't know everybody. I didn't know other people talk to baby shoes, but I think it's great. Aw. Yeah, baby shoes are the cutest. Anything that has to do with a baby. I mean, I don't care. I was having this conversation with my daughter, Megan, the other day, and I said, "I'm 59 years old, and I have been through menopause because of chemo." So, that was in my very early late, sorry, 30s. And anyway, I, to this day, still get baby fever. When I get baby fever, if I was physically capable of having a child, like today, if I was having baby fever, if I was capable, I would have a baby. Like right now, I would get pregnant and have one. I've never got past that, and I wonder if when I'm 80, if I will still think, "I could have a baby. Why can't I? Why can't I?" But when that is happening, you're gonna find me in the stores back by the baby stuff going, "Oh, aren't you the cutest little shoes?" Or stuffed animals. Oh my god, I'm horrible about stuffed animals at Christmas. All those cute little Christmas animals, stuffed animals, and I Megan laughs at me because I might literally have 6 in my basket. No intention to buy maybe 1. Maybe 1, but I'm deciding, and if I don't get them all in my basket, somebody else is gonna get the last one, and that's gonna be the one I wanted, but I will talk to it like baby shoes. So, ugh, yeah. Well, I think we're all a little weird. Okay, number 5. This is another interesting one, y'all. Do any of your ovaries still tweak? Baby, 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 I get it. Yeah, I am a grandmother, and it is the best thing in the world, and I don't know, my daughter, my youngest daughter, she got a divorce, and she is 36 now, and anyway, so she's still baby making age, right? She's got 2 daughters, and so every time, like, she goes on a date or something, I'm, like, sizing up the dude, thinking about what adorable babies that they could make. I'm just like, "Oh," and I'll be like, I needs a baby. I needs a baby." And she's like, "Well, too bad. You're not getting one because even if I get married again, I'm not having babies." And I'm like, "What? I need babies." But I would if I could. Yeah, we are truly the land of misfit toys. We are, John. Absolutely. Yes, Mr. Todd, I hope you're having a great Tuesday too. So, let's see here. Yeah, I was back to interviewing yourself. So, be honest, have any of you ever given yourself, like, a full interview in your head, like or out loud? Like, a job interview? Like, if you know you have a job interview coming up, have you ever imagined what kind of questions they're gonna ask and how you're gonna answer them so that you sound, really smart and fun and, that whole bit? Yeah. Or being interviewed by somebody, like, I'm always this is one of the scenarios, okay? So I'm always like, I'm sitting there and the person says, "So, Susie, how did you get through this traumatic time in your life?" Or, whatever. And I mean, that has changed over the years, like losing my mom, losing my sister, cancer, divorce, whatever the traumatic time in my life was. And then I say, "Well, Oprah, I wasn't really given much of a choice. I mean, I just had to get through it, so I did." Because I'm always being interviewed by Oprah, or it used to be Barbara Walters, and I would be like, "I'm not gonna let you make me cry." Yeah, and I would go, in my head, I'm on The View, and I'm, like, arguing and agreeing with them at the same time, like, because I agree and argue with them at the same time in real life, like, I don't always agree and I don't always argue, so, I'm, like, in the hot topics, so I'm, like so, whoopee, I think that, whatever, it's crazy, but, yeah, I used to interview get interviewed a lot by Oprah, and I'm not even an Oprah fan. So, yeah, Marilee, I think that it's a useful tool too, especially for, like, job interviews and stuff. Absolutely, absolutely, like, I will go through my head, like, if I'm gonna have somebody on the channel, and I'll go through my head and try to think of questions that I could ask them, um, you know, all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to get this friend of mine to come on now, and so I'm already like, we could talk about this, and we could talk about that, and we could talk about but in my head, I've already got like 500 questions that I could ask her all figured out. So, yeah. So, let's see here. What's the next one? Okay. This one I'm wondering a lot about because I think this one it's not so much like a weird thing that you do, it's kind of a weird thing that happens to you. So number 6 is random cringy memories. So basically, does your brain ever just bring up some embarrassing memory from 10 years ago or 20 years ago or whatever, and just like suddenly it's just like it happened yesterday, and it's just like you're like, "Oh my god." And then you can't get it out of your head? Yeah, I do that. I have a lot of embarrassing moments. Yeah, it's like planning chess moves, it is, on the conversations, yeah. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to see if I'm missing something. So, anyway, the one that I do all the time is I'll be minding my own business, not thinking about something, not thinking about anything from the past. Let's put it that way. And the one that likes to come rearing its embarrassing head is it's like my brain says, "Remember that time that you had that like 15-20 minute long conversation, just a random conversation with that really hot cop that everybody in town, whether they were male or female, thought that they were hot, and you had that just an amazing conversation with them, and you were killing it, right?" And then they walked away, and you glanced down, and you had, like, a 4-inch McDonald's french fry laying on your chest. Yeah, that's me. That's the kinda stuff that my brain will bring up, and I'm just like, "Oh my god." For a while, I couldn't even eat McDonald's french fries because I was just obsessed with it. Now I actually have, like, a brooch that's a french fry, which is pretty funny. So, if you ever see me with a french fry brooch, I am remembering the time that I had this. I mean, this cop was, like, hot. I was married, y'all. I wasn't flirting with the guy. I mean, he was just hot, and, I mean, everybody thought he was hot, and, like, we were just having a conversation. We were at a convenience store one night in town. I had gotten gas, he was getting gas, and we were just standing there talking, and probably for 15 minutes. Great conversation, everything great. Glaring lights, underneath the lights at the service station, and then I get in the car, something catches my eye, and there lays at least a 4-inch french fry from McDonald's the whole time. I just thought he was checking out my chest, you know, but yeah, no, I think he was checking out that french fry. So, I'm just like, it's not just me. So you all have those too where you think, like embarrassing things and it just like comes back to you? Yeah, I think of that. I think of like sometimes I'll randomly see like a bread truck, like a truck that's delivering bread to a store. And I'll remember the time that I was getting gas and I was hurrying up to get to the store to pay for it. I was before pay at the pump kind of deals. And I tripped and like rolled and then the bread man comes running over there and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine." I was so embarrassed. And I look up and my daughters are just like laughing their asses off in the car because they just saw me roll and jump up immediately. So, yeah, I have like these kind of memories that come back to me all the time. So, you think he was wondering, should I grab it and eat it? This one guy did. I'm another like this town had 2 crazy hot cops in this town, right? And it was just a little town. And so at one point, I was both waiting tables and doing hair because I mean, I'm trying to make a living. And so the I don't know, the one not the french fry cop, but this other one, I was friends with him, right? So I sit down at the table and I'm talking to him while he's eating, and he's like, "Man, this gravy is so good." And it was like he was eating like biscuits and gravy with like sausage gravy, so like white gravy with sausage in it on biscuits. And he's like, "You gotta try it." And I'm like, "I'm not eating your food." He's like, "No, you gotta try it." And I'm like, "I'm sure it's good. Everything here's good. I'm sure it's good." He goes, "Just try it." So he like, you know, takes his fork and puts a little luckily a little bite of this biscuit with gravy in my mouth. Well, when he did, unbeknownst to me, it got, like, this little bit on my lip, and I didn't notice it probably because I was too busy thinking, "Oh my god, he's so hot." I'm sitting here eating his dinner, and so anyway, he reaches over and wipes it off of my mouth and licked it off his finger. I about died. Yeah, John's like, "What? Who said biscuits and gravy?" Uh, Healing through song says we now, John, I don't think you're taking off a bra. John says when you take off your bra at night and half a Happy Meal falls out. I think he's not talking from actual experience. Maybe he's seen this happen. Oh, yeah, absolutely. French fries are always getting away from me. I don't know. So, mm. Let's see here. So there's that one. Oh, what did I do? Okay. Da-da-da. Yeah. So if y'all think of any memories that pop into your brain that's embarrassing, you might as well tell. I told my embarrassing story. So if there's anything you want to share, hop on it. Right now, number 7. This one's kind of different. You know, so it is basically, do you ever like narrate your own life? So like, do you narrate your life like it's a reality show or like, what I'm bad about doing. You're gonna think that I have lost my mind. This is probably gonna be the live that does me in, right? What I'm really doing a lot is, like, I'm not recording, but I will like, I'll be doing normal things like fixing dinner or putting on my makeup, and I'll be like, "What you do next is you do this, or you add in the chicken stock, or and I'm talking as if I'm doing a vlog because I really wanna do vlogs, but I'm not doing a vlog because I don't think anything that I do is, like, something that anybody's gonna care to watch, like, that I do on my normal day, you know? But I'm still doing it. I'm, like, still, like, imagining if I was. And then I think, "Well, that's stupid because, like, go ahead and record it, and then if it is something that's cool, then upload it, right?" But no, I'm not recording it, so even if I did something that I thought, "Wow, that turned out pretty good. I could actually, probably get some views on that one." I can't do it because it's not recorded. Yeah, like a documentary. Hubby says, "Always snacks in my bra." Yeah, I used to. I don't have to wear them anymore because, no boobs. It's a blessing. No under boob sweat, nothing. No boobs. I mean, I do have, like, fake ones that I can wear every once in a while, but man, if I wear those, everything I eat, you can tell because it goes straight down into the bra. He says, "I suppose I do this a bit, but I'm more just saying it out loud, hoping that I'm doing it properly." Yeah. Yeah, like the right amount of ingredients, and I do that too. I do that too. Or I'll be like, "Okay." I do this at night all the time. I'll be like, "I'm taking my medicine. I took all 8 pills that I have to take. Okay, I took my medicine." And then I'll go about, doing something else, and I'll be like, "I took my medicine." And I might remind myself 10 times before I go to bed that I took my medicine, because if not, I'm gonna lay in bed and think, "Did I take my medicine?" So, yeah. I just think that it's amazing how often that we talk to ourselves, right? That we really are, and it's like, they'll be, like, talking about how crazy it is if people talk to themselves, and I'm like, "Who are you talking about? Because everybody I know is talking to themselves." Maybe we're just all crazy. Yeah, it's not a bra, it's a snack receptacle. Absolutely. Uh, maybe one of these days I'll actually, like, make some vlogs, because that's another thing that I'm taking this class to try to get more comfortable being on camera, and they said that I need to just record myself doing everything. Like, well, not going to the bathroom, but or showering, but, like, making dinner or reading a book or, watching a video, whatever, and just get used to, like, randomly talking to the camera or whatever. But my biggest thing is not so much talking to the camera, it's that, like, if I'm looking right now, I'm looking at a little white dot where my I guess the lens is. But if I look down like this, I'm looking at myself, and I don't like that. So, if I get nervous and start doing all this, it's not so much that I'm nervous being on camera, I'm nervous seeing myself on camera. So, I've even kinda got past hearing myself because God, I do hate that though. Really, Ben says talking to yourself is a sign of someone who is a deep thinker. Well, now we know. So, Ben, I would love to know what kind of conversations you have with yourself. I really would. And also, do you wanna be on either one of those shows that I'm gonna do on Thursday or Saturday or both? But no cheating and watching my body language to find out the answer if it's the one that asks actual questions. So, but y'all, anyway, so all jokes aside, this is actually what I love about being human. Just that that we're all weird in our own ways. We're all weird in a lot of the very same ways, and we think that nobody else is doing these stupid little things that we do, and yet we do. So we need to kind of give ourselves a little bit of a break, and not be so like thinking, "Oh, I'm just weird," or "Boy, you know, nobody would like me if they knew how like weird I really am or how goofy or whatever." So it's just that we're humans and we have brains that never shut up. They're always working. So of course they've got to come out and with actual words sometimes. I think it just kind of seems logical. So like if you did any of these 7 things, I'm saying congratulations. I mean, I think we all, you know, deserve a high five kind of thing. I really do. We can be a member of the Life's Weirdo Club or something, and we have coffee every time. We always have coffee. But I do want to say that no, I actually did not go and look up and do any research to find out what the percentages are, how normal is it, how, odd is it, how what of any of these things. Because I just think that sometimes it's just enough to know that other people do it too. We don't have to know why or how often or any of those things. And so no, this is actually one of those lives that I didn't research anything. I just like sat down and tried to think of strange things that I do and wondered if other people do it too. Some of them were easy, like the whole singing thing. That's pretty easy. I think most people do. I think you are either a singer or you're not. Like Mark, I don't think he sings in the car. I've never heard him sing, and he loves music. And now I will get in the car when he's driven last, and as soon as he turns the car on, it's just like boom, just loud, usually head banging rock music. But yeah, he never sings. But he does a lot of other weird stuff. We'll have to have a Mark does this kind of thing. Oh, well, thank you, Silva Larson. Thank you. Thank you. That's very kind. I'm feeling a little extra eyeshadowy tonight. I don't know. I tried a different color and I'm not feeling it, but thank you. I do appreciate that. So anyway, guys, we're a little over an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you for being here. Yeah, when you don't think you're crazy is when you're crazy. Absolutely, be absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, we do, right, Steve? We always think, I hope nobody finds out how weird I am. But we're all weird. That's just part of it. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be on tomorrow or not. Might take the day off. It's um, I've done a couple days in a row. Might give y'all a break from me. But I will be back Thursday. Again, if you want to be on Thursday when we do the Doomsday Cult game, please email me. It'll be at 7 Central. So I've got to have ways to get a hold of you so I can send you the link. If you want to be on Saturday at 7 Central on a walk down memory lane, do you remember when kind of deal? Again, please get in touch with me because I've got to have first of all, I need to know who's gonna be there, but I also have to have some way to send you the, the link so you can get on the screen. But even if you don't wanna be on screen, please come and listen to us and join in and, we're always an audience participation kinda thing. So, anyway, I'm gonna go. I love you guys, and I will see you maybe tonight sometime on somebody's live, or if not tomorrow, but for sure on Thursday, for sure. So, see you later.
Hope you enjoyed the show. So glad you were here. We meet here most days. We're but first coffee, and you're welcome here. We talk about hard subjects, but we also laugh a lot. If you have a loss or win, we will cheer for you. We're but first coffee, and you are safe here. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set, to all. You don't wanna miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't wanna miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe